We're back for another edition of the Cardinal Report, and what a couple of weeks it's been. The women's basketball team tops Elmhurst by 25 points. The men's team raises the stakes by taking down the number 2 team in the nation. And the men's volleyball team plays its first ever match in program history. We'll discuss all of that and more next on the Cardinal Report.
Liftoff.
Fresh off the first win in program history, the men's volleyball team is here, and the men's basketball team is not far behind. But before we get to our guests, let's take a look at the highlights of the Cardinal volleyball team taking on Loras. A long time in the making, the North Central men's volleyball team finally arriving on opening day. Loras College, the opponent for the first match in program history. Very first point, Duhawk's Danny Krasic kicks off the action. Cardinal libero Kevin Mazer pops it up. Jacob Zemba sets up outside hitter Jake Brasos, but the spike gets rejected. Cardinals recovering. Mateo Gonzalez a quick set over the net, but Loras is there setting up their own attack. Leo Peters with the game's first point. Later on, first set, Cardinals getting a chance on a free ball. Zemba with the middle set, and Anthony Kluzak throws it down and pounds the chest. But the opening set would not go the Cardinals' way. Up 24-19, Loras sends Dylan Ross to the net, and he seals a 25-19 first set win. Midway through set number 2, Braceros with a pretty serve gets the Duhawks just a tad off balance. The soft spike managed well by Sean Pete. Setter Raymond Krause goes cross court, and Max Lawrence pounds one right through the hands of Shane Marquez. Cardinals trail 10-9. Getting the early game nerves out of the way, Braceros raises up and slams home a second set win. 25-22 Cardinals pumping up their first ever crowd. To the third set, split at 1 apiece. This one looking a little bit more like the first. Blair Anderson digs out the serve to Krasic, who sets up Ryan Galvin beautifully on the outside. The third goes to Loras, 25-22. Backs against the wall. The Cardinals don't want to lose their first match, right? Broken play for NCC, but they get a second chance. Krause with the set. Lawrence puts a perfectly placed kill into the corner. The Cardinals a point away from forcing a fifth set. Can they do it? The answer from Lawrence, an emphatic yes. Onward to the fifth set they go. Playing to 15, the Cardinals up 14-8 in the fifth and final set. It would be a storybook ending if North Central can pull it out. Cardinals win in 5. Now with us is head coach of the Cardinal volleyball team, Kyle Exline. And coach, first things first, the big win in your first ever game program-wise. How excited were you at the outcome of that game?
It was very, very, very exciting. We've been waiting 1.5 years for this after recruiting some quality student athletes. And for us to go out and compete on our home floor and be able to get that win was tremendous. Our guys continued to work on the court and off the court, and it just made it great for a first match appearance.
And the way you won was pretty fun as well. Yeah. Back and forth the whole game. You guys battled. You know, jitters were kind of the word of the post-game talk, but you battled through it. 5-set win. Was that something that you kind of enjoyed seeing, that resilience in that very first program match?
Yeah, absolutely. We dropped the first set, got rid of the jitters, came back 1-1, tied it up right before the intermission. Came out a little sluggish in the third set, dropped that one, but then the guys just came out firing. That's kind of what we work on, is just energy and effort, and hard work definitely showed throughout that fourth set. And then once we knew if we got to the fifth set, we had to eliminate those service errors, and we had one, I believe, in the fifth set, and we just were able to outblock them and put some balls to the floor, so it was nice to have.
Going into that game, what were your expectations? What was playing out in your mind as far as what you anticipated would happen?
We definitely anticipated a win. Right out of the gates. We know what we have in the gym. We have a lot of competition. We have 23 guys on the roster, and they're competing every single day. So kind of going from one of our 5 setters, one of our 7 outsides, out of our 3 liberos, 4 middles, we knew that we had something special. We have a lot of depth in each position, so at first we want to kind of figure out who's going to be able to perform. So then we kind of mixed up the lineups just to see, all right, who's going to start scoring points and kind of how it was going to mesh together.
the second match of the day didn't quite go your way, but did that first win kind of outweigh the loss as far as when you look at that day as a whole?
Yeah, we wanted to get that first one, definitely. We saw a lot of guys play very well. Then the second match, we wanted to see some more guys play. We wanted to jumble up that lineup to see who's going to be able to perform. It's early on in the season. We have a very long season ahead of us. Hopefully we can make it to the conference tournament and the national tournament. So we got to kind of figure out what's going to work, and so we just got to play with those lineups and turn the dial and see what happens.
So much youth. I mean, freshmen across the board. It's pretty exciting. Does that make it more fun for you as a coach, knowing that you have so much youth and kind of potential to work with? Yeah,
I believe we have a high ceiling. We have some returners that came back, so we had 2 sophomores. But eligibility-wise, 22 of them are freshmen, with one upperclassman sophomore. But we do have some leadership there, a lot of youth, but a lot of talent. So looking forward to molding these guys and having them create the culture of our new program.
Now, you played at Loyola. You also coached at Carthage. What have you kind of drawn from those experiences now that you've taken over this program?
Yeah, I'm really good friends with the former head coach at Loyola Chicago. He's now the head coach at Northwestern. I'm still really good friends with the Carthage coach, so we kind of bounce ideas back and forth. Whenever we're out recruiting, we kind of just talk shop. We talk about players they're recruiting to see, okay, who should we look at and who they're looking at. But at the end of the day, that's been the backbone of kind of what we're running. But now with our new guys and what we have in our program, we're kind of making it ourselves and tailoring it, to kind of what we have in the gym.
Now, before I let you go, I want to check the tape, and I want to take a look at 3 individual plays and kind of get your assessment of those plays.
Sure, absolutely.
So here we go. First play is a point for you guys, and it comes from Max Lawrence on the outside.
So Ray, our setter, kind of reversed the flow there, and what we're teaching our guys is to swing high, hard, and deep, and Max was able to step close, get to the ball, and drive that sucker deep down the line. So what I want Ray to do is our setter to kind of get squared up a little bit more to kind of run that middle, but Max was able to get his feet there and make a good high swing.
Now on the second play, things didn't quite go your way. It seemed like sort of a broken play off the start. It was kind of a free ball for you guys, and then point for Loras here.
Yeah, so what Jake did early on is he swung high, hard, and deep. When we're out of system, we tell the setters chuck it to the ceiling. So Ray got that ball high in the air. Jake stepped close, took a good high swing, high hands. They made a good transition. We got to get set a little bit sooner on the block, and as you look at our middle, we weren't pressing over the net, covering that low seam. So we got to make sure we're covering that low seam.
And then this third and final play, a fun one because first win in program history.
Yep, good serve by Jake Zemba out there. Nice solid triple block, great dig by Kevin Messer. And then there was Ray with the solo one-on-one block. That was a good finishing touch to the match.
Now, the most interesting thing maybe in this shot is what's going on in the background there.
Yeah, what we talked to the guys before the match was if you're not on the court or you're on the courts, you got to find a role. And what we preach with the guys is we need to have a bench mob. We need to create an atmosphere that it's fun. We want our guys playing, competing hard, and having a great time. So I kind of let them be creative, but we got to keep it within reason. So supposedly that one was called the fish, where one of our guys, Kyle Nelson, flopped on the fish, and another guy kind of reeled him in. Not sure exactly what that is, but I'm just going to let them go with it.
Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. Congrats on that first big win, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Appreciate it.
We take an in-depth look at the first ever match in program history and this week's Cardinal Corner when we come back on the Cardinal Report.
Introducing a new day of the week, someday. Now, everything you were going to do someday is on the calendar. Want to retire someday? You'll really want this. A My Social Security account at socialsecurity.gov. You can estimate your future benefits and manage current benefits online. Millions of people have a My Social Security account. Get yours today, because someday is here at socialsecurity.gov.
This net has been here before, but never risen to these heights. North Central men's volleyball, Gregory Arena, first match in program history.
It was a year and a half waiting, so spent the whole last year and a half kind of going out recruiting, trying to find the best quality student athletes that we can, and being here with all the support with the administration and up on campus, just the excitement leading up to this day has been awesome. So being able to get a victory on our very first match in program history, something special.
There's a lot in the planning from going way back when we discussed it administratively with Vice President Heyman and Sauer and so on, and where you talk about doing it, but then you get to the point where, okay, we're going to do the budget and the proposal, submit it to our cabinet, get it approved to the point where, okay, now we're going to go to look to hire a coach and do the interview process.
The coach, Kyle Exline, a former standout player at Loyola University of Chicago and a former assistant coach at Carthage College. Not only taking over a team for the first time, but also facing the task of recruiting each and every player on the roster, most of which are freshmen.
We only have a few people to really look up to, kind of. So as all of our freshmen, we have to stick together and keep each other level-headed and focused on the game as a team.
I mean, this day we've all been looking forward to. We've practiced for 8 weeks before this, so every practice for this day and on. It's just really exciting getting all the fans here and just showing us what men's volleyball is.
Loras, the opening game opponent, the result, a back-and-forth 5-set win, the Cardinals rallying to win the final 2 sets, a picture-perfect ending to the Cardinals' beginning.
They're really amped up, so I could tell that they had the first match jitters throughout the first and second set, and then they started to come into their own.
Naturally, you're going to have jitters and that first set, and they did, and it kind of showed, and yet we kind of settled down, and then to go to where it's to the 5th set and to win in the fashion that we did, couldn't be happier with that turnout.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Ben Cartwright and Mike Mitchell are in the hot seat, and Ben, I want to start with you. Emotions going into that first ever match. You guys are the first ever team in North Central history to play men's volleyball. What were the emotions like kind of going into that match for you?
For me, kind of anxious. I wanted to get at it right away. Wanted to put that one away in 3. We got it done in 5, but a win's a win. As for the team, I think we were all extremely excited. We fought hard, we played well, and we came together as a team towards the end. So that's what made it a great first match.
Kind of a storybook developing in that first match for you guys. Mike, for you, was that kind of the picture-perfect way to win the first ever match in program history? Ideally, three sets, but I mean, you guys won in 5.
Yeah, ideally you want to just tear the team apart, win them and beat them in 3. Don't let them have a chance. But having going through all the emotion of 5 sets really, I think, is going to prepare us going on through the year, being able to fight through it all and finish it out how we should have.
We kept hearing the word jitters after the game. We talked to 3 or 4 people. Did you feel kind of jittery before the game?
I think everyone had some jitters. Everyone was feeling excited, anxious. It's a lot of unknowns for us. No one here except for I think one person have ever played in college. So bringing up to that level really just made us wonder what was going to happen.
Now, Ben, you also play golf, but kind of that first volleyball match, you don't know what's going to be coming of it. Was that kind of an allure to you to say, hey, I want to be a part of this first ever team here at North Central?
Yeah, absolutely. It really helped me choose a final factor in what I wanted to do after high school. And when X came up to me and told me that he wanted me to play for his inaugural team, I said absolutely. How can I turn that down?
Is it kind of a point of pride that when you'll be able to look back, say 10, 15 years from now, you can say, we started this program?
Oh, absolutely. I plan to tell my kids about it. I plan to tell them, hey, I played in the inaugural match of an unbelievable college team, because that's where I see us going in a few years, if not this year.
Now, it was a first match for you guys, but the bench seemed like it was in mid-season form already. Mike, I got to ask, some of the celebrations looked like you guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we didn't really plan anything out, but when it came to the game time, we all just were trying to, do what we can to get not just ourselves excited, but the crowd excited. And sometimes, it looks silly, but it attracts attention, gets everyone with a smile on their face, and really helps us, push through any hard set that we have to go through.
So you didn't choreograph any of that?
Not a single thing was choreographed there. It was made up on the spot.
That was awesome. That's so fun. Are you guys going to try and figure out different things in the future, or are you just going to be spontaneous?
There's a few things planned, but in the heat of the moment, I think we're going to have a lot more fun things to put on there.
So you're not going to drop any hints. We're going to have to wait and watch.
No,
That's awesome.
this one's going to be a secret for tonight's game.
Nice. Now, I want to go back to you, Ben. How good can this team be? Because, I mean, coming in, you had no idea what you were going to be. You have two matches under your belt. Have you kind of figured out maybe how good you guys could be?
Absolutely. I think the possibilities are endless. We have so much depth on our team. It's incredible. We have 18 freshmen?
Yeah.
19 freshmen, and we have veterans too. And a lot of the freshmen look up to those veterans, those upperclassmen for advice, saying, hey, what can I do to get better? What do you see that we can do? And they all look at us with confidence, that the upperclassmen, them looking down on us saying, you guys are going to be great, and we'll help you get there. It's something that you can't take away from a first-year program that's so young and so anxious to get after it.
So, Mike, last question for you. As you look at the season kind of in front of you, what are you most looking forward to? Obviously the matches, but aside from that, just kind of going through the whole season.
Well, right now we do have a good amount of brotherhood, camaraderie, and I could see that progressing a lot more throughout the season. And that's what's going to be the biggest thing for me, is just developing all together as one big unit and not being these separate people, which it's something that you could think about later in life and realize you have a good teammates behind you, good friends, and good brothers that'll always be there.
Awesome. Congrats on the big win. That was awesome to watch. And best of luck moving forward. We'll be able to watch you guys live streams on you guys. It'll be on the TV. So congratulations. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Basketball team joins us next. We'll be right back on the Cardinal Report. Welcome back, and joining us is the head coach of the men's basketball team, Todd Raridon. And first thing first, a big win against Elmhurst, the number 2 team in the nation. A lot of people were watching, and from start to finish, it just seemed like you guys were having a night that you wouldn't forget. It just seemed like you had a big win.
Well, I thought we played pretty well for 40 minutes, and we had to have a complete game. Elmhurst is obviously a quality team, and like you said, they were ranked high, and they were tied, or they were actually leading the conference. So, it was a big game for both teams, and we were fortunate that one was at our place. We had a great crowd. I thought Elmhurst brought a lot of people too. And so, I was pleased with our effort. It's probably one of the most complete games we've had all year.
You did a phenomenal job on Kyle Weiss. The guy can shoot from anywhere on the floor, and you bottled him up 6 of 19 from the floor, and he ended up fouling out. What was it that you guys did to kind of limit what he could do?
Well, I'm not sure if you can limit with him. I mean, he is terrific. We tried to give as much help as we could. I thought Jayme Moten did a terrific job. I thought Jagger Anderson, both those two guys covered him. We tried to run him into, because he likes to attack the basket so much, and we really tried to deter that as best as we could, and hope that if he did, we had some help. I thought Alex gave us some good help. I think he got a couple tips on a couple of his shots, but it's something that you just hope that you slow him down. I mean, they have some terrific players, and so mostly seniors, and they're an experienced ball club, and so that's a team that's very scary, because they're never out of a game. They know how to win because they've been doing it for the last couple of years, and so, like I said, I thought we played a complete game.
You look across their starting lineup, senior. It was phenomenal, the level of experience they have. But as far as you guys go, young, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores contributing. How high is the confidence level right now, especially after that big win?
Well, the season's so long, and it's such a grind that you can't get too high and you can't get too low on some defeats. So you really have to stay within what we're trying to do at both ends of the floor, our philosophy at both ends, and hope that the kids can stay with it mentally. Physically, I think we're about where we need to be at this time of year. It's more of a mental grind right now, and so you hope that they're not too high, because we have it continues on. The conference it doesn't matter who you're playing, you have to continue on, and they're all good. It doesn't matter if home or on the road, and now we have to go on the road. road for games. So, we just hope that we can mentally stay with it.
Now, going back to the Carthage game, that was your 200th win as a head coach. Was that special for you?
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't even aware of it. And, it's nice because it's nice for our program. We've had some terrific players. I've had some terrific assistant coaches that I rely heavily on. So it's more special for them than for me. It just means that, like I said earlier, to somebody just thankful that North Central let me stay here that long.
Now, I asked Connor after the game if they dumped a Gatorade bath on you for your 200th win. He said no. He thought that maybe they should have. And then I asked him how long he thinks he would have been grounded had he dumped a bottle of Gatorade on your head. How has it been coaching Connor? It's your third time having a son go through the program.
Well, I have experience doing that, so it helps. And, each child is obviously different. And Connor actually brings a lot of both Derek and Mitch with him. He's got a lot of skill sets, but his demeanor is such that he's he's fiery like Mitch was. Derek was more laid back. So it's been fun, I know that, and I look forward to the next these 4 years because I know I have no more children coming up. So
he's the last one. Third time's a charm, right?
Exactly.
Now, he's one of just a couple of freshmen that are just performing phenomenally for you guys. You have Erwin Henry, a sophomore, Alex Sorensen, a sophomore eligibility-wise, but you have the seniors, Kevin Honn and Jayme Moten, that are kind of leading the charge. How instrumental have those guys been for you?
They're huge. I mean, I rely heavily on senior leadership. I think so far to date, they've provided great leadership for us, and they have to. I think a lot of our success is going to really be on their shoulders where we end up at the end of the season. And I always think that great teams have great leadership, and it starts at the top with those two guys, and so far they've been phenomenal.
Before the season started, you had guys like Jagger Anderson and Alex Sorensen coming in. Could you foresee that this team would come together quite as quickly as it has?
Well, you always hope as a coach that it can. I mean, I think we have some good talent, and it's just taken some time. I think you've seen that. We've had a lot of close games where we have not won, especially early in the season. I think part of that was because of our inexperience. We lost a couple games by 1 point, 3 points, 2 points, something like that. It's something that, I think if we had the experience factor and we played those games maybe later, maybe we had better success. But that's not the case. But I do think that this team is coming around where we need to be at this point in time in the season, and hopefully we can get a little bit better. I think we have a chance to be very good, but I think also a lot of things have to fall our way.
Coach, good luck for the rest of the season. You guys have been a ton of fun to watch.
Kevin, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by. A couple of seniors join the show next. Right back on the Cardinal Report.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. And now she's holding on for dear life. Her kids can see she may have broke her knees. They still love her though she looks like she's attacked by killer bees. I'm allergic, proof you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Up against the second-ranked team in the nation, the Cardinals blitz the Blue Jays from the start. The star, Jagger Anderson, who gets the feed from Todd Raridon and turns it into an acrobatic reverse layup that only warrants one word. Wow. The Cardinals win 80-62, and Anderson gets the play of the game. Surgeon going to work, backdoor cut Anderson, up and under move! Oh, Jagger Anderson! Jayme Moten and Kevin Honn, seniors on the men's basketball team, join me on the show. And Jayme, I want to start with you. Elmhurst comes to town. They're the number 2 team in the nation. They're red hot, 6-0 in conference, 16-1 overall. David versus Goliath, seemingly, but you guys dominated from the first second you stepped on the court to the second you stepped off it. What allowed you guys to just run rampant against that team?
I mean, I think it starts back to when we had played Augustana at Augustana. We were kind of on a high horse winning some games and, thought we were, pretty solid in the conference, and Augustana definitely punched us in the face in that game. And then by the end of the Illinois Wesleyan game, we just kind of hit a spark and hit a roll, and we just kind of have kept that going all the way through. And when it came to the Elmhurst game, our confidence was on 100, and it really didn't matter who was coming into our gym that night. It was just another game, another basketball game, and we wanted to perform at our best.
Kevin, what were the emotions like for you guys going into that, knowing that, first of all, you'd have a big audience taking on one of the top teams, and second of all, big implications for you guys because now you're tied for the lead in the conference?
I mean, we tried to treat it just like any other game, but, we knew it was going to be a big crowd. It was very hyped up. NCC basketball was tweeting about it all week, and, we were really excited to get a big fan base there. We haven't had the biggest group of fans this year, but having that huge fan base there Saturday night, I mean, it just got us even more excited to play.
Before the game, during warm-ups, did you kind of feel that energy just kind of growing and knowing that it was building towards the opening tip?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see now you can dunk in warm-ups. We got everyone on our team trying to dunk, so you can just tell, we're really excited to play when everyone's doing that.
I wanted to bring this up. I'm hesitant, but it looked like you wanted to throw one down when you were in the open court in that game, and you passed it up. Did you think about trying to put one down?
I thought about it. All my teammates all year are like, Kevin, you have to dunk in a game. And I have fans in the student section holding up signs that say Kevin can't dunk. So, I mean.
It was just a thought. He just thought about it.
I thought about it, but, I didn't want to miss it and then yelled at my coach, so.
That's awesome. Jayme, I got to go back to you. This was a big game for a lot of different reasons, one of which is now, again, you're tied for the conference lead. You have to go again against Augustana in this upcoming week. You got 2 games in between now and then. But does this game kind of prepare you for the way you have to play against Augustana 2.0?
Definitely. I mean, just being in a huge game, huge moment like that for everybody, especially the freshmen and the sophomores and guys that are new, it's huge. Just a confidence builder. And we've taken every single game. That's one thing I say about our team. We've taken every single game, one game at a time this year, and so we're not looking forward, to head to Augustana. We still have Milken and then Wheaton, so we're taking it one game at a time. But when Augustana comes, we're definitely be much more ready than we were the last time.
Super young team, freshmen, sophomores, transfers. You guys have it all. Jaquan, Connor, and Aiden, how have those guys kind of transitioned into the team being first-year college students and athletes?
It's definitely been a transition for both of them, or for all 3 of them. I think that as the years gone on, each and every one of them have gotten better at something, and it's been remarkable for our team. Connor's became one of our most consistent players every night in, night out, so we can count on him. Jaquan, at any time, we ask him to play defense or do whatever the coaches says, he's ready, ready to go. And same thing with Aiden. And Aiden come in and hit big time shots, at any point. And he hasn't hit a couple lately, but at any time, everybody on the team is confident to throw him the ball and let him throw it up. So I think that it's been great all year. They haven't lacked any confidence, and that's the biggest thing. I know last year there was times where guys were up and down with their confidence, and that's one thing this year is no one can really touch our confidence. If we're going to lose a game, it's on us. It's not on another team.
Now there's a lot of differences, and I'm going to go to Kevin for this, between this team and your freshman year, a team that went to the Final Four. You guys took the trip to Virginia. You almost came away with a win against Amherst. Do you find similarities between these 2 teams, even though the personnel is completely different?
Yeah, I do a little bit. We have, on that team we had, guys who can come in off the bench and play well and give us big minutes, and our starters obviously can do the same thing. And I think that's the same with this team. We have all of our starters who are capable of scoring double digits any night. And then we have me, Aiden, and Jaquan. We can all come in and have a big night. So in that way, I think we're really similar.
How good can this team be?
We can be very good. I mean, we get to the postseason, we could definitely make a big run.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys, on getting to this point, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. That'll do it for this edition of the Cardinal Report. Don't forget, Wheaton comes to Gregory Arena for a pair of basketball games on Saturday starting at 5. For everyone here at NCTV 17, I'm Kevin Jackman. Thanks for tuning in this week.